check Emceemur coming at you on the mic with your vision in a blur. It's time. It's been time for some frickin' King's Bounty. One of my all-time favorite strategy / RPG games. Really more strategy than RPG. But man, this is just some of the finest stuff to come out of old EA back in the day. They even made a tabletop game about it, as rare as unicorn turds, and I cannot find it for the life of me. But yeah, I beat this game more times than I can tell you. And it never gets old, because it's a different game every time. Nothing's in the same place. It shuffles itself. So there's tons of replay value here, through the frickin' roof. Depending on which character you decide to be, depends on the resources, leadership, and all that you start the game with, and how much time you have to finish the game, because there is a time limit based on your difficulty setting. A lot going on there. My old standby is Mad Mohem the Barbarian. Just kind of partial to barbarians. Barbarians are along the lines of what I want done. Let's freaking do it. We'll do it on normal. No reason to be on hard. And here we go. You get paid every week. The dude on the horse represents you and your army. Audience with the king is to level up after you've done some stuff. We're obviously not ready for that. Max out some militias, archers for range attacks, max out on pikemen. Now you can't really fart bigger than your ass on the recruiting, because if you do, and the week is up, you can't pay your help and they'll leave. So no problem, I'll take this gold, right? No. Because you get a chance to distribute the gold to the peasants, increasing your leadership, and the higher your leadership goes, the more units you can command. They're wasting no time popping the poop off here. Now I started with an army of wolves, because that's something mad barbarianish. So we're going to plug a hole here and make sure the sprites, they'll probably still get through, but before they do, a hail of arrows arcs toward them, killing 18 of them. And the pikemen advance. This is so cool. God, I've been dying to play this game. Oh, we lost an archer. Now we'll move the wolves here. Once wolves, or anything for that matter, is near a ranged attacker, they're no longer a ranged attacker. They have to deal with what's in front of them. And then again, for your gold, it's best to rely on the spoils of actual war, not the treasure you find. You should always be sharing that with your peeps, so you get maximum leadership at every opportunity. And sometimes there's items in the chest, sometimes there's pieces of the map. Yes, you're trying to get a map put together to find the mysterious golden scepter. It's a different place every time. And the bosses are in different castles every time. I mean, this game switches it up, it really does. It's different every time, so it's a new game every time. The ogre is holding a shield, which is not something an ogre would normally do. And in this graphic sense, it looks like a tomato slice. And that makes me smile. Dang, this ogre's hanging. The mad ogre. Well done, Mad Mohem. And now we got a paycheck. There's multiple continents to explore. And every time you see one of these deals, it's a cave that goes to another section of the map, or it's an area to recruit. And it's always something different. Those all move too. It's not like you know that there's a orc zone. There could be something else here next time, or nothing. So we want some orcs. It's another ranged attacker. Can't have too many. Jason has joined the stream. Welcome, Jason. And Jason, please let me know if everything looks good on your end, as we've had trouble processing these streams on YouTube's end. Entirely their fault, of course. If you can tell me if you notice any burps or hiccups, hopefully everything's good. Alright, so we're going to try to take the sprites out before they zoom in on us. And again, since you're just joining us, this is King's Bounty on the Sega Genesis. And if anybody that tunes into this now or later has any leads on where I can get a copy of the tabletop version of this game, money is no object, and yeah, I need to know about it before I go mad and make my own version. And that could happen. Alright, looking good in the hood. That's what we want done. Only one gnome hits the map. Pikemen are coming up around. We've got a lot of orcs. They're not as efficient as the archers, but they're cheaper, so in the larger numbers they're going to get a lot of kills, being a ranged attacker. Gnomes are on the map. Alright, so that's that. Dwarves. Terrain's always randomly generated. This is interesting because we're kind of boxed in here, so we're just going to have to follow the wolves in the battle. Sprites are going to kind of get a repeat of what they had before. Sprites are actually effective in humongous numbers. So this is an instance where the unit is going to wait, because it can't do anything else. Not till the wolves advance. Jason says, tabletop Pac-Man at Snellville Pizza Hut. That's what you want done. You know, and the Mazio's not far from here had one, and I used to jam on that one in there, and Huff Dog used to go there on his lunch sometimes. And then I took Molly over there the other day because she loves their pizza. And I was like, you know what? We're going to go there. If somebody's occupying that table, we're going to arm bar them and get them to leave. And we're going to have pizza and play some Pac-Man. And there's really no other reason to go to this pizza place because it's a rundown, roach-infested shithole. But Pac-Man, done. So we go. And you know what? The whole place is still just as shitty as ever. It looks like hell. Bathroom is worse than a dadgum MARTA station. I mean, it's just horrible. But it's good pizza. But the table's gone. The Pac-Man table's gone. And I'm looking. I mean, maybe they moved it. Oh my god, I'm panicking. It's gone. The Pac-Man table is gone. And the lady's like, you know, I seat you. I was like, I don't know. I don't know how to answer that right now. Where the hell is the Pac-Man table? I'm not sure, she says. You're not sure? You're not sure, she says. Unbelievable. And I asked somebody else, and I think they moved it. I said, where? I mean, they got rid of it. I said, why would they get rid of it? Your restaurant literally has nothing else going for it except it's one of the few pizza places left in the continental U.S. with an arcade table in it. Like I'm going to eat your shoddy food without Pac-Man. They got rid of their table. Didn't renovate the place or anything. I mean, you see sometimes Restaurant Impossible, you know, they come in and they wreck the place and, you know, they're going to get rid of the tables and stuff like that just because they think it's tacky. But it wasn't nothing like that, man. The place was still a pile of turds. They just took out the Pac-Man like it was some kind of improvement. Anyway, that's my rant for the day. The Venerable Archmage. So to learn magic, you have to pay a one-time fee of $5,000. And then you can use spells as a unit attack. We're a little light in the pocket right this second, but we will be back to speak with the Archmage. Our numbers are thinning out on the wolves and on the militias, which is okay, we can get more. But you don't want to run afoul of a big enemy if you haven't had time to re-up. And these areas where you can recruit, they do need time to repopulate. That's a thing. So you hope your units are lasting you a while. Pikemen will take out that last orc. Since units in most cases will get at least one retaliation per round after an attack, it's good to figure that in and know that you don't need to waste a unit's attack if they're going to get a certain other enemy unit on their retaliation. Just good strategy and knowing that, you know, when they retaliate against you, you're going to lose. So then there's these. You get the chest, and it says that you find an area in mineral deposits, like a mine, and the king ups your paycheck. So you do get a paycheck every week. So I can't recruit any more orcs because my leadership hasn't gone up. Not because they don't have any more. Week of the Vampire. And that's how you what dwellings repopulate, is what week it is. So King's Bounty is just an old school RPG strategy game that I played the living Shiite out of. It's got one of the world's longest password saves, which is annoying that there's no save battery. But there's no save battery to die either, so there's that. And in this great day and age we live in, you can take a snapshot of your phone and not have to write any of it down. So it's no sense complaining about it anymore. You see here they break down your budget, your bills, your paycheck, and you hope the number goes up and that you're not in the red. So we're going to fill our numbers back up here on our footmen, archers, pikemen. When we level up, we'll have the better units available to us in the cavalry and knights. And yeah, I've just had a hankering to play this game. Every town has a different thing going on. You can get a contract for an enemy, which we do want to do. Murray the Miser. My brother. 5,000 gold for taking him out. Now, we don't know where he is yet. We know he's in this continent, but we don't know what castle. We can gather information. It'll tell you if there's anybody in the castle nearest to that town. You gotta have siege weapons to break into a castle. That's $3,000. For now, we're just gonna get a boat. And we're gonna explore a little bit along the outskirts. Get us some chests that are laying around. Maybe get into a fight with some barbarians. We've been joined by the Woodbarian Retro Game Hunter. Welcome, Woodbarian. You're a retro guy. If you have not played King's Bounty, don't deprive yourself of it any longer. I don't know how expensive this game is nowadays, but name your price, it's worth it. It does not get better for strategy games, at least not in this era, than this game. So good. Now at this point the wolves can't do much damage to 6 orcs. Say if that kept them from attacking that round, it won't. The militias will do the job. As long as the unit's next to a ranged attacker, it can't attack. Jason mentions Wind Waker. Man, we're just a couple days shy of being 2 weeks out from the new Zelda Breath of the Wild, so fingers crossed, it's going to be great. Nintendo Switch coming at you. Probably a fool for buying it, but it says Nintendo on it, so why break the chain? Yeah, price this game out, man. In fact, I'm going to do it just to see what, because as a matter of fact, my copy's not complete. Never was. Of course, way back in the day, man, I just cared if I had a cartridge to play. I mean, the box was nice, but I was more worried about just being able to play it. And a lot of these games were bought in Funko or GameStop, you know, once they bought them out. And they were clearing these games out for like 99 cents a hit. And, you know, I'd just go on my lunch break, pick up a couple games that look good, and that'd be what I was going to get drunk and play that weekend. There's a secret item. Items usually contain a piece of the map to the scepter. And again, the scepter's in a different place every time. You will never play this game the same way twice. It's impossible. Everything shuffles. I'm just now hearing about these Zelda randomizers that make a new freaking Zelda for you every time you hit a button. Amazing. But that's basically all this is. It just shuffles all the pieces. The enemies are in different castles. The items and, you know, recruiting points, everything's in a different place. Chests contain different things. Scepters moved. So, while the continents will always look the same, what's on them will not. So you re-explore them every time. So Jason asked my top 3 RPGs. That's a good one. It's hard not to automatically put Final Fantasy VII in there, just because I don't even want to include that. And yeah, if we're going old and new school, then I definitely have to include that one. Whether I want to or not, I got Final Fantasy VII just gets best in show. It's just ridiculous. And then it's hard to narrow down ones of a series, but I guess if I have to, I'm going to put Phantasy Star 2 in there. I can't not. Basing that on quality for its time and just how much fun personally I had with it. And for a third one? Oh my god. Think about that for a minute. The Bard's Tale was pretty epic. The first one. On the IBM. But is it the best? I'll stick with Phantasy Star 2 and Final Fantasy VII. It's hard not to just give it to Dragon Warrior on NES. Because that's kind of where it started for me. That was the first RPG I really put hours into and finished, so. But if I include that, then I'm excluding the obvious choice, which is Book 5 of the Elder Scrolls, Skyrim. And as much as I don't like to put new games in those top 3s or top 10s or whatever, I can't deny it. So yeah, I guess I gotta go with Final Fantasy VII, Phantasy Star 2, and Skyrim. So I'm getting spells, and that's cool. They let you bank them. But until you actually purchase the ability to do spells, I'm going to get my siege weapon so we can break into a castle when we find the one we need. Until you have the ability to do spells, you can't do anything with them. You know, if you get too far away from your boat, you can just cancel your boat rental contract in any town and just get another one, and your boat will be right there. This game has a lot of conveniences that they obviously thought of, and that was cool because a lot of games don't pay attention to that. The Pond of Peril. I'm going to take a dump in it. God, this game was like crack. And it doesn't take that long to beat. I mean, you probably wouldn't do it in a day. You could, but why not savor it, you know? But then you can just play it again. I mean, sure, the ending will be the same, but do it with different time constraints. Do it with a different character and a different beginning setup and leadership. Change it up. You get 4 different characters in a game that doesn't stop changing. That's pretty forgiving. That's pretty generous. This was made by New World Computing. I'm struggling to think of what else they made. It was something else. I think they made that Global Commander game I've got on my frickin' ST, which was really good. Chris Miller of CM Retro Gaming has joined us. Welcome, Chris Miller. We are playing King's Bounty, strategy game extraordinaire for the Sega Genesis. So we found a covered wagon, yeah, which is usually a peasant dwelling. I don't hire peasants. They're dirt cheap, but they don't do much damage, and I don't like to take up a spot with them. There's a zombie just hanging out in the town. Not sure why he sounded like Bubbit. Alright, let's see. Gather information. Castle Azram is under no one's rule. So still, not finding Murray the Miser, but he's somewhere. Ogres. Whoop. What up? Whoop. And you can lay siege to a castle if you want to. And you can take it over and garrison it with your troops. But no one's ever going to attack it. So the best it'll do for you is serve as a bank. It can hold troops that aren't necessary. I don't think once you garrison them, they're on your payroll anymore. So you can kind of just hold them there. Or maybe they are still on your payroll, but as long as they're not in your company, they're not going against your current leadership. That can be convenient if you lose a battle in a castle and need to go back with your tail tucked there and try again. Yeah, Final Fantasy VII, man, I cried at the end of that like a baby. I blubbered like a bitch. It was just too much game. It even says on the back, I can't remember what gaming magazine reviewed it, and on the back of the box it says, quite possibly the greatest game ever made. And it's like, on story alone it gets that merit, but... And then we've got this remake coming, and I've just got mixed feelings, because they're doing it like this frickin'... Once they went to the Dissidia games and made them a hack and slash, it just wasn't... That doesn't feel right to me. Even as polished as Final Fantasy 15 is, I'd rather it just be turn-based, man. So I can do like I'm doing right now. I can sit back with a drink in one hand and play this game. Dadgummit, I don't want to fight this pissant. We're banking some money, and that's good. I mean, you get to where you start avoiding fights later, just like you do in any RPG where you're just tired of grinding or you don't need to. Because you don't really level in this per se, just your leadership goes up from finding gold and stuff. But you'll find that you want the money that you get from the grinding, so you don't ever come up short on payday, because you got to pay these fools. Bubbit versus Hordak. Maybe that matchup's not going to occur. And we were talking He-Man the other day because I found He-Man on the Atari, and Chris was saying, you know, that we really did get shafted on He-Man games, and he laid out a pretty good format for a He-Man game. And there should be one. This stuff writes itself. Why do we have to come up with all the good ideas? This game is for the Sega Genesis, so nothing fancy there. This game should be relatively easy to acquire. It's not. I don't know what it's running these days in value, but I know it's not some crazy frickin' unicorn turd $400 game or anything. And I'd pay anything upwards of $60 to have this in my house if I didn't already. Because not having it is not an option. These are the kind of games that I don't care how many times I beat it, I want it back. I'll go ahead and pony up and get my boat back here. Okay, I found an ancient map, so now I can go to Forestria, another continent. Now, just like crossing a bridge in any RPG, poop's gonna pop off over there. Bigger enemies, but bigger paydays too. And bigger chests. So if you can get over there early and maybe avoid some of the enemies. I wanted to see who was in there. Yeah, then you can pick up some of the big money and then hurry back to Continentia, and then you're coasting because you got big time money, big time leadership, but you didn't have to deal with any of the big time enemies, provided you didn't get caught. So Jason mentions Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. You know, I've got it, and I've watched AVGN put his time in on it. And that's enough for me, but, you know, I would like to try my own hand at it someday. I won't ask how bad could it be, because we know how bad it is, but sometimes you wonder just how bad you'll fare on a game that awful. Oh, he had to get that. I hate it when I can't end on an even number of a unit. There's one dwarf sitting here getting his licks in. A hail of orcish arrows arcs towards you when you're defeated. Hack the Rogue. I could take Hack the Rogue. Hack the Rogue is the next guy up from Murray the Miser. I think we could take him, but we need to get reinforcements. Alright, we'll take him. You know, we're not far from the castle. Let's re-up. We know where Hack the Rogue is. If you got the bird in the hand, you should go for him. So we're going to sail right over here to the castle. We're going to re-up. And we're taking his ugly ass out. No, sir. We'll deal with these wolves later. And sometimes you'll run up on something like a pack of wolves or some kind of enemy, and they'll want to join you. They'll be friendlies. I have not played Treasure Master on the NES, Woodbury, and that has not happened. But I'm taking from your mentioning it that I need to. And I don't think I have it, but I'm sure it's on the old EverDrive. Oh yeah, look at all this I can get now. Oh my god, we're out of money. You got to be careful getting that much recruited before the end of the week. Now, luckily, my payment was enough to handle it all. But if you don't have enough to pay a unit, they will leave you. And you don't get them back. This is it, our first castle siege. And it's not the first enemy, so he's a little tougher than Murray the Miser's army. He's got a lot of peasants, man. We're going to be cool. We're going to go right here. We're going to use our ranged attackers to cut them down and really cut into their numbers. Because without their numbers, that's all they've got. And the pikemen can handle the nomads. And hopefully that'll keep them from moving anywhere. BAM! 26 peasants on the map. And again, you guys keep me posted on how the stream's looking. Our problems with these live streams have happened after the live stream's over. Once YouTube processes it on their end. So if this doesn't work out, you know, I'll transfer a non-live version of a review for this on here to enjoy later on. But hopefully this one will work out. But if you see any hiccups during the live stream, be sure and let me know. Jason is requesting a playthrough of General Chaos. I don't see why we couldn't do that. I bought General Chaos new. I still have it boxed and complete. Also a fantastic strategy game. A little more well known. I'm sure a couple of you guys have played General Chaos. Another fantastic EA Genesis title. It'll make you madder than a damn wet hen, though, sometimes. But, man, that's good. So, his numbers are... I mean, he's really pulled my pikemen apart, but it's cost him all his militias to do so. Pulling them apart like chicken off the bone. Death. Now the orcs are melee attacking because they're one-on-one. Only 1 out of 62? There's more die with that. And the thing is, the lower their unit numbers go, the lower their defense goes. So we get the contract money, spoils of war money, and you got to make sure you have the contract before you go get the guy. Because if you don't, he just gets away and you don't get any money. So the important part of garrison, to garrison a castle is because it makes it yours. I can put the orcs in here, and then I'm always going to have an army in this castle. No monsters can occupy it. And I can go pick those monsters. I can pick my forces up out of there anytime and use them. But if you leave the castle empty, monsters will just occupy it. So back to Murray the Miser. Probably want to go back down here and get us some more troops. Now you notice there's pieces of the map opening up over here. And if you stop, you can see the map minus your fog of war, or you can look at your puzzle pieces. And we don't have many of those hold out yet. Just the ring and hack the road. All those are enemies you gotta take out. And it's kind of like, it's a guessing game. You can get enough of those pulled out to where you can maybe figure out where it is. You can get the scepter early and end the game. You don't have to beat everybody. So this is definitely a game you should speedrun if at all possible. That's really the idea. It's just not something you really can do. There we go. We're going to go up here and visit the Archmage and get our ability to cast spells. Now the witchcraft symbol is lit up, and that means we have magic ability. So when you're casting spells in combat, you're doing it as Mad Mohem the Barbarian. Your actual army units don't have to do it. So it doesn't take up a unit's turn. I think you can cast one spell per round. But that can really help things on the ground. A treehouse. Oh, come on, I don't sweat you. I want to see what's in that treehouse, and I want to see who's occupying the castle. One hit kill on the sprites from the archers. Yeah, Skitchin is also... Jason mentioned Skitchin. If you played Road Rash, most of you have, you may not have played Skitchin. Skitchin was Road Rash on rollerblades. Also, another game to make you madder than a wet hen. But definitely one worth reviewing. We sat there and played it for hours until it was finally over. It was horrible. It's cool, but man, it's just, you need counseling afterward. It's so tough. Princess Amola. I don't think we're ready to take her on yet. Elves. Elves are the toughest of the bow slingers. I can only afford 14 of them, so I better go ahead and get in a fight. Get some money back to pay for them. And this game may seem like it gets repetitive after a while, but it won't. Only the grinding starts to, and even then, it's the money you need. The money's your lifeblood, and to be able to acquire it keeps the game interesting. Because it just means more recruiting. Eventually, you're going to find that dragon cave, and you're going to be so excited, and you hope you have the money to buy an army of dragons. Or demons, or some of the real higher level enemies to be on your side. Another interesting aspect of this game that many people learn the hard way. Speak of the devil, literally. An undead dwelling. Now this is cool. It's skeletons. I can deal with skeletons. What you may not want to deal with is zombies or ghosts. When zombies and ghosts kill another enemy, they become zombies and ghosts, no matter what they are. So the zombies' unit number increases. Sounds awesome, in theory. But once they increase beyond your leadership, you no longer control the unit, and they turn on you. Then, you might have won the battle, but you're still on the field with a zombie horde that's no longer taking orders from you, and they'll eat your face off. Or the ghost will do the same thing. You'll be ghosted to death. So you have to use those with caution. I just don't use them at all. It's like handling unstable explosives or something. I mean, everything can be fine, and then next thing you know, if you attack some sprites or something, they kill a large number, and they all become ghosts. You're screwed. However, if your leadership's high enough and you know what you can do, maybe that's good. Woodbury, and thanks for joining us, my friend. Yeah, price this out, man. If you can get a copy of this, you'll be so glad you did. You'll spend lots of time on it. It's the gift that keeps on giving, because you can't play it too many times. A hidden grove. Always distributing the money amongst my peasants to get that leadership. So let's check out our magic. We have a find villain spell. Some spells can only be used during adventuring. That'll tell me where Murray the Miser is. So let's try one out. We're going to try a lightning spell. We're going to try it on the dwarves since they're the haughtiest and toughest of this group. Didn't kill any of them, so. But you can bet when we attack them next, a few of them are going to drop. Buttered them up. Or not so much. Alright, CM, I appreciate you stopping in, my man. Always good to have you, and it's good to be able to spread King's Bounty knowledge to you and to the rest of our fellow brethren. Captain Retro joins the stream. Welcome, Captain Retro, to our stream of King's Bounty on the Sega Genesis. Which is definitely along the lines of what I was wanting done tonight. A dragon. Can't do anything with him, though. Murray the Miser's here at Castle Kankamar. I think we can take him. We're taking him. Yeah, we can take him. I say we can take him. Can we take him? We can take him. Our unit's going to hold back. Oh no, I didn't want to tell. No, I didn't want to waste a spell. Okay, you know what? I wanted to wait. The New Georgia Order. Take out this ridiculous amount of pikemen. In big numbers, they can do big damage. Still waiting. I don't want to get my militias in there until I've skinned these numbers down with ranged attacks. Again, you know, there doesn't have to be a lot of strategy in this, but there is. There's only so many places you can move, there's only so many units, but you got to really think about what's best for the unit. I'm moving over here because I don't want the wolves to get a lick in. They may still move and get it, but I want them to have to work for it. Oh, we got this. There ain't enough of them left. Oh yeah, this is over. Call time of death. It's over. Got Murray the Miser, so we get a piece of the map. We get the spoils of war money. We get the bounty money. And we're sitting pretty. We're going to go ahead and leave the elves here so that we have a garrison. We're immediately going to get a new contract. Princess Amola, we know where she is. We know where her smelly ass is. She's smelly. She's right here, isn't she? Yeah. I could stand to re-up, though, before we fight again. Damn it. Man, that's a long boat ride. Trumpets announce your arrival with regal fanfare. King Maximus rises from his throne and greets you and proclaims, "We're now promoted to Mad Mohem the Chieftain." So now the cavalry is available. We'll certainly get some. So as you level up with the king and become a chieftain and a warlord and all that, eventually you can even have king's knights as a unit, which is very powerful. Here we are. Let's do it. Damn! It just got an army. Alright. So, same strategy. Militias are going to hold back. We should have picked our orcs up. Or our elves. Only 8 sprites out of that? Sucks. We gotta really be careful with our cavalries, because they're the ones that are gonna make this happen. Moving them out of harm's way. I'm kind of throwing my pikemen to the wolves here, so to speak. They're gonna wear down those sprites, but not when they're gonna fly right at us. Oh, and here comes the undead. I may have farted bigger than my ass on this. Yeah, if you haven't played King's Bounty, I don't know what it prices out for these days, but I would certainly look into that, because if you don't have it, it's a great game. The gift that keeps on giving. It's different every time you play. Okay, we gotta make a move, because these zombies have gotta go down. Because the zombies, once they make a kill, they add to their numbers. And luckily that's not happening yet. See, I don't want to get the militias involved with them, because they'll lose some numbers, and that's going to add zombies, and we just don't want to do that. I'm going to use a teleport spell, and we're going to move our militias up here. Take out the sprites. Definitely zombies. All focus on the undead till they're gone. The skeletons don't make other skeletons when they make kills. Zombies and ghosts will multiply. So far, I think we've got them under control. I underestimated the cavalry. They didn't even get to regenerate because I killed them all, so sweet. Done. Yeah, this is over. That's a lot of ogres, though. They're gonna whittle down my militias, but we'll take them out. So Chris Miller's coming back saying that on eBay, complete and box copies of King's Bounty are $15 to $25. God, I need to get my copy complete then. I've been sitting on this cartridge for decades. I'd love to have this one complete. And again, they made a tabletop RPG of King's Bounty. I saw it at Titan Comics out there on Pleasant Hill many years ago. Didn't buy it, just thought it was cool. Now it's like one of the rarest games ever printed, and it's definitely out of print. And I'd kill to have it. And I don't see that on eBay. I haven't seen it anywhere. So there's another homework assignment for you guys. If you find the tabletop version of this game, come at me, because I need it. I guess we'll garrison the militias. Nah, the archers. We can get more archers. Get us some elves is what we're going to get. Look at that, 26 elves. That's going to mess some fools up. The Baron Jano Makal. See, Castle Irock is under my rule. Some archers there. Sweet. And it just goes on like this till you can pull up the map and you can see enough holes in it where you can figure out where that scepter is hidden. And here's the trick. You think, well, why don't you just dig everywhere till you get the scepter? No, it doesn't work that way. It takes 10 days to dig up the scepter. When the days left up there in the right hand corner is gone, the game is over and evil rules the world. You got to find the scepter before then. So it takes 10 days to do a dig. So you need to really be sure. Yeah, the game's music is good, and it may get a little repetitious the longer you play. But even though that's true, it's the music that you'll be longing for when you're like, man, I could go for some King's Bounty right now. Just like I was feeling today. A lot of times when I just can't decide what to play, some of these RPGs are just my old standbys. Ooh, Canagor the Mystic is not playing, dudes. Horde of Sprites, not a problem. Ghosts, Knights, and Archmages, a problem. Oh, it's such a problem. I'll find Villain Spell. Oh man, I gotta be careful. Forces are dwindling. I think it's important to note that a game in this format can still be good today. In fact, there was another King's Bounty that they remade, I think in like 2005, 2008. I have it. It's on PC. I don't have a PC that I'll currently run it. But I need to get a drive put on this new computer we got. Amazing for all that money, it doesn't come with one. But yeah, it's the same kind of game. It's not the same game. But imagine this game with current gen graphics, how awesome that is. And that's what it is. So a game like this can still come out. I mean, they could make another one right now. Boy, I'd buy it. I think a lot of people would. When I say a lot of people, though, I'm not talking like Call of Duty. A lot of people. It's almost just not profitable to make a cool game anymore. Because people complain about games being the same old shit. But when it finally comes out, all they want to buy is the same old shit. If anybody dares innovate or make something that's just like, whoa, what is this? It doesn't sell. You got guys like me there day one for the physical extras, boxes, manuals, and of course to stream it day one and bring only the best to you. But I'm part of a very small niche group, you know, that's why so many of these cool games nowadays are just digital. There's no profit in putting it out. You're better off just throwing a digital line out there and hoping a fish will bite. And I'll do that too, but that's the irony of it. Then you got the guy like me, who's still the only guy interested in, dadgummit, I want my box and my manual, and I'm not getting it. Like this Double Dragon 4. A scroll. The Articles of Nobility. and a piece of the map to the stolen scepter. This Double Dragon 4 that came out, how awesome would a box have been for that? With some Billy and Jimmy action figures. Castle Kookaburra. But I mean, who wouldn't have paid for that? Well, a lot of people. But we would have. Everybody watching this stream right now would. Here and ass to you. Oh man, what a weak encounter. GG boom. Ah. Yeah, I don't know if I would. A chest. My income ought to be getting on up there by now. The Dread Pirate Rob. I think we could take Dread Pirate Rob. Look at the Town Gate spell. And cancel boat rental. I mean, we can't take him right now. But we could go up our troops and we could take him. But we'll go here to the desert. There's usually something going on. In the ways of recruiting. Wolves. Get an ass ton of wolves built up. Ah, we got the whole map. Not that I don't have it memorized, but if you're new to the game, that's a great thing to find. And again, these things are all mixed up. You can't think that, oh, well, I know where that is for next time. It won't be there next time. That chest might be there, but it'll have something different in it. A sprite habitat. What's our army looking like? What a weird army. I don't know if that's strong enough. Many sprites. See, we've already got as many as we can control, so we don't want to bring them on. Or we'll have an uncontrollable unit on our hands. And everyone knows what happens when you can't control your unit. And you know what I was laughing at there. But yeah, Chavo Guerrero Sr. died. I hadn't heard that. That's not what I was laughing at. Yeah, the Guerreros, man, they were really something. Saw a lot of them in our time at WCW. Plenty of Eddie. And Chavo when he started coming around. Time stop spell. Oh, I've got my maximum spells. Can I get more elves? I can. Okay. gonna go back to the king and completely mac out our army. What was the old Hector Guerrero? That was the old Guerrero. He did that ridiculous sunset flip, roll around submission. We all died laughing when he did it. It just looked so silly. I think that's gonna do. Okay. Castle Wanklefort, here we come. I'm about to make a mistake. We can go for Dread Pirate Rob, but we need to have the contract for him. There we go. The Terror of the Sea. Never without a rapier. Rob is wanted for piracy as well as conspiracy and for breaking out 5 traitors sentenced to death in the royal dungeons. I just love games like this. She's lifting it over and over. And Captain says he picked up Ninja Gaiden, or Gaiden 3. We were rednecks. We called it Gaiden, and I still call it that. I know that's not what it is, but it's more fun to call it Ninja Gaiden, because that's what we call it on the school bus. On his Wii U, and I've also downloaded them all on the Wii. I think I've got them all physical now, but it's so nice to have them just quick jump into on your Wii U menu. Makes you want to play them more, too, because it's staring right in your face on a menu. Let's do this, Dread Pirate Rob. Oh, man, Dread Pirate Rob. Daggum, boy. Alright, what kind of magic? We got a fireball spell. Shave 12 militias, that's cool. Cavalry's going to get tore up, but I don't want the elves to get to attack. And while our elves could attack their elves, we're going to try to dwindle down these militia numbers. The wolves will take care of that. That's brute force. We're going to stick the sprites on these barbarians. Oh, maybe that wasn't a good idea. Oh my god, there's too many barbarians. Oh, that Ninja Gaiden 3, like the Sigma and all those. I've never played any of those. I've heard good things. Then I've heard bad things. Then I saw one, you're a girl, and I was like, no. No, if I'm not Ryu Hayabusa or whatever his name is, I'm out. But some of them look cool. And I've had the Xbox one. I think that was Ninja Gaiden 2. It sold before I got a chance to play it. It was probably good. And the sprites aren't earning their keep over here. At best, they're serving to keep these barbarians busy. At least they weren't expensive. I don't want to fly, I want to attack. The wolves are getting it done. Might as well just let the sprites die out and get them off the payroll. Okay, good. It's good to have options. My militias can't even get in there to take care of business. Business is being taken care of, so. Still have to find the evil Baron Jano McCall. And knowing that we could handle Dread Pirate Rob's army, we can definitely handle the Baron's army. Big money. So it starts coming up quick, and look, this is perfect. I don't even want the sprites anyway, so they'll watch over Castle Wanklefort. So that's yet another castle garrisoned with our forces. Back to him. 35k, we're pretty stacked. And we can look at the puzzle pieces. That's more to go on than you think, because you might find an area with the rocks that are just right there and it looks like that. But again, cost you 10 days to dig, so you kind of don't just want to go digging. You know what? I'm down to get some skeletons. Rule Castle Kankamar. Oh, come now. Really? You start rolling around with armies as big as this, and they get so much bigger, but little encounters like this, God, you just want to skip over them because they're time-consuming. And while your days of the week don't move when you're in battle, it's just time of gameplay that you're like, man, I could be getting closer to finishing the game right now instead of fighting a non-factor. Really did not mean for the skeletons to wait. See you, dwarves. In the books. Kanagor the Mystic. I just don't think I'm man enough. He's swinging a big old pair. We explored up there already. I think if we're as far north as we can go on the inside of the continent. Yeah. We gotta go back down and around and then up and over to the right to see those other castles. Which we'll do. But not tonight. This was a great look at one of my favorite strategy games of all time. King's Bounty on the Sega Genesis. Thank you to everybody that joined us tonight. I hope you go right out and, based on Chris Miller's numbers, get you a copy of this game at a price you can feel good about and wear it out just as much as I have over the years. It has a special place in my heart. Good stuff. Like, subscribe if you like watching people play games, because you know I'm going to be playing a lot of them. Please subscribe. More to come. So much more. And comment. Especially everybody that's going to see this after the fact. Comment. Is this your jam? Do you know about this game? Are you glad I told you about this game? Let me know. Love to hear from you. Thanks again, guys. It was real, and we will be back Thursday for yet another live stream. You can count on it just like clockwork. Set your watch by it. Emceemur signing off. We will see you next time.